Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Hashtag Nailed It with me, Michael Lee.
And me, Dominique.
Nice to see you, hear you. What am I on about? What am I seeing?
No idea.
Anyone?
I feel like you're in
I'm tired. I'm a bit struggling.
Yeah,
today.
you're tired. You're in a serious mood. You're vegan. By the way.
Please.
Yeah, you had. I just want to point out that you had meat last night.
Yeah, but this is it. I never said I was going.
You had lamb. Lamb.
I had a small bit of
Turkish meat.
I had leftovers.
Oh my God, that's what you think you had?
Yes.
No, I ordered.
You actually ordered for me?
Yeah, for you.
Oh, I thought you said to me there's some stuff
You
left
see
over
how
for
much
the
I
kids.
love you? I ordered food for you. And there was leftovers. No.
There was lots of rice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was leftover chicken. Anyway.
Was there? Where's the chicken?
What? You didn't eat it?
No, I ate it. There was no leftovers.
Okay.
I had it all.
Okay.
Halloumi.
Okay, now that we've established what you've
Halloumi
had for
can
dinner,
be either really nice or awful. Halloumi. Can you hear? Sounds like like eating rubber, can't it?
the way you say halloumi.
Halloumi.
I like halloumi. Nice,
Depends.
kind of like, halloumi.
Yeah.
I quite like rubbery.
You see, I don't. You see.
But it makes a sound as well when you chew it. It's like... Okay, so this was a great opening to the show.
How we got on stuff. Anyway,
Really
this
good.
week.
Wait, no, we're going to catch up. I'd like to update
really?
people, yeah,
Okay.
on a few things, because we've been touching on really important issues recently. I'd like to
Like
give
what?
people an update. Well, we talked about Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle a couple of weeks ago.
All right.
Right. So I just wanted to let everybody know it's back in stock.
Is it really?
No.
No.
It's sold out. Apparently, Elton John bought quite a few.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
What, 3, haven't you?
I don't know.
1,000?
It bought a lot. Yes, but I started watching her Netflix show, by the way, The Goop Lab.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it.
What's it about?
Well, they go like on different things every week, like to experience like different kind of weird stuff. So the first thing they went to get, how do you say, psychedelic therapy? So like they take mushrooms.
And
Well, it's
LSD.
not LSD.
Tabs of
yeah,
LSD.
and it's like microdosing, like in the right environment, the right. This is not us trying to tell anybody that they need
And
to
we're
take
going to do.
LSD.
And we're going to do this next week.
I swear to God, I was like, I really want
We're
to
going to
try
take
this.
some microdots of acid, and what a show! We're looking forward to next week.
Exactly. And they filmed it, and it was actually really interesting, it was really interesting. So I'm watching that on Netflix. Yeah, you
And you've
like
been
it.
watching You.
Yeah, well, we finished You, didn't we?
Yeah, most people I spoke to sort of said, series 1 great, series 2 just gets
Yeah,
a
it
bit
got
silly.
a bit far-fetched, didn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit towards the end. I know. It's really strange, though, how you root for a killer.
Yes.
Because you
that
do.
was good.
You sort of like, you really root for him, and he's the bad guy.
That's
It's
right.
really
And we
strange.
also watched a brilliant film that I can't believe he hasn't been nominated for an Oscar.
Yes. This is a recommendation. Everybody, you have to.
Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler.
Amazing.
Which was in the cinema. It's now on Netflix. How he hasn't been nominated for Best Actor.
How?
I haven't seen all the films. We've seen Joker, but I thought Adam Sandler was tremendous in it. What a
I'm going
film.
to say something
really good. It's very
controversial here, but I thought his performance was better than the Joker.
But it kind of reminded me of that kind of mean street 70s.
Yeah.
Everything was very in your face, very raw. It never let up. The pace never let up of the whole film.
I mean,
really
to explain, we won't tell you what it's about or ruin everything. Wait.
What can you tell us about?
But
tell me the ending, obviously.
Last 20 minutes of the film, we were yelling at the TV. Like, that's how involved and intense it got.
Yeah.
Yelling like, no, just stop. Like that. It was that good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just cringy and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In so many ways. It was so good.
No, it's well worth seeing.
And actually, I thought it was really nice seeing him in such a role. So, yeah, good for him. Okay, well, that was fun.
That was interesting. You caught up with everyone now, have you? Anything else?
Well, sort of. Yes. Okay, so Mike has prepared tonight's show, apologies to everybody in advance.
I was waiting for that.
I'm so sorry.
Every time they do these shows, we're meant to take turns. And so I did one. And the reason I did this one, and before you press stop or go, hear me out before. I'm going to mention the subject, and I'm going to tell you why I want to talk about it.
Goodbye, everybody.
We're talking about the coronavirus.
Oh, God.
And I'll tell you why we're talking about it. There was a thing in the paper I read of a Chinese guy in Italy, and he got on the train, and all these people around him started saying in Italian, "Oh no, keep away from him," or whatever. And the Chinese guy said in perfect Italian, "Sorry, madam, the nearest I've been to China is looking at it on Google Maps." And it kind of hit home that this hysteria, and it's, we'll go into the details of what's going on with this pandemic, which I think it will be. And also there's a report in London, in Chinatown, which for those of you not in London, there's sort of 3 or 4 streets in sort of Soho, London, which is just packed with where Chinese people live, Chinese restaurants, Chinese supermarkets, and they're saying that the virus has hit, that taking to down, less people eating in their restaurant. And you're like, why? This is London.
Right.
And so people are sort of getting quite panicky.
But don't you think the reason people are getting panicky is because they are worried that perhaps people have traveled from China into the UK? And like you're thinking, well, if I'm going to Chinatown and potentially there's a lot of people from China in Chinatown, there's more of a chance of somebody traveling from China?
Well, first, obviously, that city, Wuhan, is in a sort of shutdown.
Yeah, but maybe some people
and has
left
been for
before.
a while.
I don't know.
And now, but also now the virus is not just in China.
Right.
It's already in the UK. There's 2 up north in York. There's the Philippines. There's already in America and the US. Not loads. In China, there's been so far reported about 17,000 cases of it.
Wow.
Why do you think that's a lot or not a lot?
That's a lot.
Really?
Don't you think that's a
Well,
lot? That is a lot.
Okay, so far, they reckon and again, this figure keeps changing, about 400 people have died of this virus.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but you say that this virus is like the flu, and if you, I've got some figures I wrote down here. You know how many people get killed by the normal flu every year?
No.
285,000.
What?
Exactly. 285,000 people die of the normal flu every year.
What?
Yes.
So why is everybody so upset about this?
That's why I'm talking about. Let's put things into perspective.
So our goal here is to calm people down and say, listen, it's more that you're going to get the flu. You're more likely to get the flu.
But the same with this and the normal flu. Mm-hmm. How do people die of the normal flu? They're old. They catch pneumonia. They've got weaknesses in other areas. And the flu, that's why old people are told, certainly in the UK, to have a flu jab. Yeah. Have a flu jab so it can't get worse. And it's the same with this.
So asthmatic, if you're pregnant, children.
And so far what we know about this virus is it's a bit like the flu. It gives you a fever, dry cough, shortness of breath, and the worst it can do, it can lead to pneumonia, which can kill you.
Oh, right.
So it's the same thing. You get more chance. So why aren't people going more crazy about the flu?
No, I don't
and shutting borders.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't want it to spread, but that's my point.
Yeah. And what about how it started? Because I know there was rumors about the whole thing.
Well, even this hasn't sort of been proven, but basically, scientists have tracked it back to a seafood and live animal market in Wuhan, where every kind of animal under the sun is sold. And it's still 96% of this virus has similarities with a virus found in bats. But then bats aren't sold, apparently, certainly not sold legally in this market.
What, people eat bats?
No, exactly. Oh, okay. But what they're saying is bats can then pass it on to other animals, who can then pass it on to animals. Do you remember this? Do you remember the SARS virus? SARS, that was the last big one. Well, that was initially in like badgers and civets, who then passed it on to pet cats.
Right.
And then humans got it from cats. But the interesting thing about this virus, especially outside China, people got it. It's not like you're getting it from a bat in America. People are getting it from other people. So already now it's out there enough just to get it from other people, as you would the flu. And it's the usual things: wash your hands a lot, don't cover your nose. Things you do anyway if you had a cold. You cover your mouth and nose when you sneeze.
Yeah.
All those kind of things. Clean everything. But it's still quite new, and obviously people don't know. I mean, the US now have closed their borders. Have you been? This is the last time I read. If you visited anywhere in China, which is the big country, the last 2 weeks, you can't come in. So how's that going to affect trade and people? Who work between the two places? It's But you kind of understand why they've done it, because they want to nip it in the bud, and this is the best way to nip it in the bud. In saying that, another thing people are saying with the virus is once the weather gets warmer, it might not be as dangerous. You get colds when it's the winter, flu when it's the winter. You don't hear so much about it when the weather gets warmer, the virus doesn't mutate or whatever. But it's quite interesting how people just sort of can panic a little bit.
But I'm actually really shocked by those numbers. That's really weird. So what is it? Like, why are people... I don't know.
Because it is, according to the press, it's going to be a new pandemic. It's a new one. And there's... I'm trying to think the last one. 2009, we had the swine flu. 2014, I don't know, there was a polio outbreak. Didn't even know about it. Ebola in West Africa in 2014. And again, I think last year in the Congo, the Zika virus, which I hadn't heard of. 2000. These things have sort of been, well, obviously so far have killed more people than this particular virus. But obviously everyone is obviously panicking about it.
I love that the way to encourage people right now is just to tell them that there's things that are worse.
Yes.
There's worse things out there.
Well, that's right. I think that's it. Actually, I got that figure wrong. 285,000 normal flu. It's actually more.
Oh.
The swine flu killed 285,000.
Right.
Which is still less than normal flu.
But how much is normal?
I didn't write it down.
A year, though?
Yeah, in a year.
A year or in total?
In a year? No, well, of course, in a year.
That sounds like
in the world. No.
I feel like somebody needs to check these numbers.
No, it'll be more than that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you were getting quite panicky about it.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, you won't order a Chinese takeaway. Will you order a Chinese takeaway?
You're such a liar. We had...
Yeah, but that was from a supermarket.
It was. It did cross my mind.
Really? There you are. You wouldn't order a Chinese takeaway?
No. But I don't order Chinese takeaway anyway.
It's unbelievable. Extraordinary. Really.
But how often do I ever order a Chinese takeaway?
But now, let's say tonight love a bit of duck. You go,
No.
In case it's flown over from Wuhan market.
Exactly.
Really?
In case you never know. Exactly.
Incredible.
You don't know.
There we are.
I mean, it's not going to kill me to not eat Chinese food for a few weeks.
So if there was a sort of different flu in Italy, you wouldn't eat pasta?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, of
Wow.
course. Not like
Really?
a specific thing. Yeah, I try to avoid yeah. But what? It's just like you were thinking maybe there's danger. So you try to eliminate, reduce the element of danger as much as you can, why would you, just go, okay, I can live without Chinese food for a few weeks, I'll be fine.
But it's not spread by food.
Oh, so
this is what I'm saying.
I don't know. But I don't know why this is making me think about something completely irrelevant right now.
Really? Come on.
Wait, but with Brexit, right? So I'm sorry, because I'm not very familiar with all the ins and outs of Brexit, right? But I understand that one of the issues is actually meat, and where meat is going to be brought in from.
Really? Why?
Oh, you didn't know this?
No, we don't know.
Well, something about now not being able to buy meat from certain countries in Europe, not being able to trade with them, and potentially having to get stuff from Australia.
No, that's not true. What's going to happen now is negotiations will continue between the UK and the European Union about deals and tariffs. So we might turn around and go, you want, I don't know, whatever we produce here, we'll put you a tax or a tariff on, and vice versa.
Right.
So will the French charge us more for their wine and cheese? It doesn't mean no one will want to trade with us. It's still business, isn't it?
Right.
What some people who are against leaving are saying that if we do this supposed trade deal with America, according to reports, the EU and the UK at the time, when they're part of the EU, had more stringent food rules. So the big scare thing is chlorinated chicken flooding in from America.
Yeah.
Boris Johnson's already said it, I believe in his speech last week, that wouldn't happen. They wouldn't lower the standards.
So another thing they were worried about was the beef, and saying if it was brought from Australia, apparently this is something that they didn't approve previously. I don't know. But for me, I just think, sorry, I know we're totally off topic right now, but I really don't understand why you would get meat from so far away in the world anyway. Isn't there meat here in England? I don't understand.
Yeah, but some people like New Zealand lamb.
I just
So they
think
buy a New Zealand lamb, and it's cheaper than British lamb, I think.
that's just like crazy.
But
to
it's
me.
like all those things. Why would you buy, what's that water from Fiji?
Yeah, like
people drink. Why are you buying water from Fiji, for God's sake?
crazy, right?
Just there, just open your own tap. I mean, really? But people do all this stuff.
I know.
You know?
No, but it really is crazy,
Yeah.
you know?
But I was reading certain waters from France.
And you think it'd be much more
not being
expensive
sold
because you're
here.
bringing it from far away. So even if the land here, let's say, is more expensive and it costs more, you know, from start to finish, right? Like the land is the grass is more expensive. Like, I don't know. Still, you would think that to actually ship it, you know, from across the ocean, you know, would cost more. I don't understand how it ends up being cheaper. Like, I just don't get it.
Because it's obviously more cheaply produced. I don't know. I'm not too sure. That always makes me laugh when you see like farmers markets.
Yeah.
And when they came in a few years ago, oh, farmers markets, oh, lovely local produce. Well, why is that like a sort of, how amazing?
Yeah.
This is local. Go and buy it from there.
I don't
That's the thing.
understand that. Yeah.
I know.
I don't get
and even
it.
then when you get them, it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really strange to me. Okay, sorry, we've diverted. Like I
Well,
totally
not really.
changed
It's okay.
topic.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, you haven't. But I'm still shocked you wouldn't get
A Chinese takeaway.
chicken chop suey. Really.
It wasn't really like on the agenda. You didn't really suggest that we do it, and I had to say no. You know. But
Anyway, what else would you like to talk about? in this
no,
episode?
nothing. This was your show.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll continue
great.
then.
Throwing you under the bus.
You really are, aren't you?
I am.
I think I've covered it now. I thought you'd give me a little bit more than you have.
Should we change
You
the
deliberately-
subject now?
Yeah, you changed subject. That's what I said. What else
Talked
were you
about
going
it.
to say? You
No,
just
because
shut
I
me
liked
down.
it. You just like talked about like what's happening. You know, it's something that people are talking about in the news. So like trending topics.
Okay. I hate that term, trending topics.
No, but it's like things that are in the news. I want to talk to you about the Super Bowl last night
Go on.
because I'm really into it.
You know nothing about it.
So not. No, I want to talk to you about the halftime
Oh,
show.
Okay.
About Shakira and J-Lo and all the hair that was flinging around everywhere.
I just saw a
last
clip
night.
of it. There seemed to be a lot of hair.
There was a lot of hair, So did you see today's social media, like
No.
big hoo-ha over the
No.
show? So everybody was like, you know, really impressed by how J-Lo's 50.
Is she? Okay.
She is. Shakira is 43.
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody was going on today about like how 50 is the new sexy and all that. And I just was wondering what your thoughts were about that.
Why is that so funny? Why is that so
I
funny?
don't know, because you're 50. What?
52.
2?
Am
Yeah.
I 52?
2? Was it 2 or 3?
What year was it?
I don't know.
52.
2020.
Yeah, 52.
You're 52. Yeah,
Yeah.
52. See, so J-Lo's 2 years younger than you. Okay, my question is, how do you
Do you
feel
think
about
do you
that?
think I've got a chance with her? She's 50. I'm only 2 years older than her.
Yeah, look, no, she looks amazing. But I actually got annoyed by it. I feel like I don't share the general consensus that people have on this topic.
Yeah,
Because
but
like there's memes now today everywhere, like with her looking like amazing, and she does. She
Yeah,
looks.
but it just happened. It could
she
be
hasn't
anyone.
aged.
If it was Madonna, everyone would have said that 80 was the new 40.
No, but my point is
whatever, however
that.
she is.
But my point
60,
is, yeah. But my point is, let's face it. Like most women in their 50s don't look like J-Lo, and they're never gonna look like J-Lo.
Why not?
Because they don't have the means that J-Lo has to look the way she does. And by the way, this is not hating on her. She looks fucking amazing, and may we all look like her when we're 50, you know. But and she works very hard to look this way, which is amazing, but it's part of her job, right?
Yeah.
And she has a lot of help to do it, which is again great, good for her. But most women, the average woman, right, 9.9 out of 10 women can't afford to things that J-Lo does to look like her. And what annoys me is that people aren't celebrating 50 as an age that's not irrelevant for women, because I would argue that till I go blue in the face, that 50 is totally still relevant, that women are still vibrant, sexy, sexual
Could be the
in their
coronavirus
50s.
if you've gone blue in the face, I
and
don't
in
know.
their 60s.
Could be a side symptom.
And even well into their 70s, you know. But my point is that they're taking away from that as an idea and pinning it only on how she looks and how she looks. And I think that that's wrong, because she doesn't look like a 50-year-old. She looks like a 28-year-old. Do you know what I mean? So really all you're saying is that we're still worshiping women who look 28 rather than let's celebrate women who look in all kinds of ages. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, and they did the same with Jennifer Aniston, you know, like, oh my God, how is it that she still looks the same like she looks on Friends 20 years later? Well, you know.
They do it there when they do it.
It's like, it's ridiculous, you know? Oh, I loved that I loved that scene with Jane Fonda.
Oh, that's the one, Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda, who again is well into her 70s and looks
Probably older, isn't she?
Yeah, exactly, and looks fucking amazing, right?
She's swearing a lot in
Yeah,
this show.
because I like swearing.
What's the matter with you?
And she had that scene in the show.
In Frankie and...
Yes, Frankie and something. Now I forgot the name. Where he goes, "Oh, I love you," and I agree. And she was like, "Yeah, you want to see what I really look like?" And she took it all off. And you know what? She still looked amazing, but she looked her age, but still amazing. But this is the point. Like, why do we have to try and look young and then say, look how great she looks for 50? Why can't we say looking 50 is great? That's the difference. And people were putting side by side memes of J-Lo on the pole dance, like on the how do you say strip pole dance on the pole. You know, from Hustler, she did the movie Hustler, right? So she's pole dancing there. Right. So they took pictures of her on the pole, right, and compared it to what's her name from the Golden Girls, Blanche. Right. Blanche was the sexy one from Golden Girls, and they went like, this is 50 in 1985, 50 in 2020, right? And I'm thinking, well, Blanche looks amazing. Like, Blanche looks great. Do you know what I mean? This is what I have an issue with. That I don't feel we're celebrating women aging by glorifying what J-Lo looks like.
Has she had work done?
And I don't know. And I don't know what she's admitted to or not. But the point is, you know, I'm sure she's had help. You know, what to which extent she's had it, I don't know. But I'm sure she has had help. And even if it's just amazing nutrition, you know, with being able to have somebody cook for you and the private trainers and all the things that she has, which again, she's worked hard to have.
I'll cook for you.
Right? You get what I'm saying?
I can help you with a couple of press-ups.
You get what I'm saying, right? So my point is that I don't feel like we have come, it's just pathetic to me, you know? I think everybody's really, you know, people need to smarten up a little bit.
Well,
personally.
Very interesting.
Yeah. But the hair was good.
The hair was good.
The hair was really good. Yeah. You have literally nothing to say about it.
Absolutely nothing.
No.
Really, whatever. Yeah.
What, you disagree?
There's more important things to talk about.
What?
Let's talk about the coronavirus.
Okay, so go back to the coronavirus.
I'm joking.
No?
No. That's
okay. Well, that's it. Was there any other topic you wanted to talk about? What did I write here?
Oh,
yes. So I wanted to bring up one more topic.
Sorry.
Do you mind if I bring it? Because I was actually contacted today by Radio Scotland, who wanted me to talk about this tomorrow in their show, but I can't do it because I have an appointment. Oh. So I want to talk to you about it. So they had I love their topics. They're always so good. This is Kay Adams on Radio Scotland. Kay, if you're listening, we love you. So they were going to talk about the whole idea of, you know, whether it's celebrities or influencers using their children, right, on their social platforms to kind of like either gain, you know, make money or gain followers or whatever. And specifically, they were talking about this blogger who talks a lot about her children. And it doesn't matter who she is, right? But talks a lot about her children. And her daughter's like 10. And her daughter asked her to stop posting pictures of her and talk about her. Wow. And her mom turned around and said, I can't do that. It's part of my job. Like, it's part of what I do. It's part of my job. I'm just going to carry on doing it, basically. Wow. So that was like the discussion. Like, where do you draw the line?
And who do you think is writing that one?
It's not who I think. Just like, I just thought I'd bring it up for conversation. What do you think?
BBC Radio Scotland would have asked you tomorrow.
Yes, what do you think?
I back the child.
Yeah?
Of course. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't want my photos taken. I mean, is your job or not? Do something else. Find an angle.
It's quite funny because you're in that position.
Yeah, exactly.
I film you secretly all the time. And you're like, stop filming him. No, I'm just ignoring you because, yeah, you do bring in the ratings, though. You do. You do stop. You've asked
like
the way I use your footage is like this, right? I'll post some stories, then I'll see like engagement's gone low. I'll film you secretly and I'll post you, and then the engagement goes back up, and then I post other stuff.
Incredible.
It's true. People love you, Mike. You really do bring in the ratings.
But you don't film without my permission.
That is true.
You don't.
It just looks like it's without your permission.
But you don't.
I don't. Can you imagine?
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I don't. I don't.
What do you think?
You should watch my stories and then you'd know.
What if you use our kids more than
Oh,
we do.
of course, I think it's awful. Of course, I think it's awful. And I think once your child is old enough to say to you, don't use my things, you shouldn't. And also, can I just say, potentially, they're in for like some legal issues in the future. I think there's law cases here like that are just like a moment from happening once the kid's a bit old and going to go, hang on a minute, I can sue my parents for all the money they owe me because they made a shitload of money off my back, with all the products they sold because of me. Where's that money, right? And also, yes, it's privacy issues. There's a lot of stuff there. But I was saying to Radio Scotland that I think like every person who does this has a line that they draw. I've recently talked to somebody about there are these American bloggers, doesn't matter who they are, but they are crazy because honestly they admitted to giving their kids cold showers as punishment.
I remember
yes,
that one.
and those ones. They, for example, have their kids like on their TikToks all the time. Like it's so clear that they want to appeal to a younger audience, so they use their kids to do that. I don't like it. Like I feel like it's too much, and I've had a lot of moments where I've been tempted to use the kids more because I see the benefit in it, right? But I resist the temptation. I really do, And of course, they've been in stuff that we've done. Of course they have. But I would say compared to a lot of other people, probably the bare minimum. But for some people will probably look at what we do and think that's too much as well. So do you know what I mean? Like everybody has their own kind of limit, But I think once your kid is old enough to say, I don't want to do it, you should respect that,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they've had moments like that, and we did reading eggs a few weeks ago. 1 out of the 3 didn't want to be in the picture, so she wasn't,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, what a fascinating show that was.
I thought it was. I thought I brought it back. Like I saved it, really.
Oh, I don't know about that. Okay. Unbelievable.
Otherwise, this is shocking. Okay. Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We shall see you all next week.
Do you want to plug your shows coming up this week?
Well, no, because they're sold out. But if you are listening from the States and you still haven't bought a ticket, there are still tickets available on all the shows. Toronto, New York, Houston, Chicago, LA, and also a show in Israel in April. And all the tickets can be bought on tovali.com/tour.
Lovely.
Yes. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.